Well, here we are. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? It's Jumpstart Live. We are in the building, y'all. Come on. What's up, Miss Andrea, Miss Pauline? How's everybody? Miss Amber, Miss Antoinette, Brother Mike, Crystal, Brother Edward, Miss Dedriana, Stephanie, Miss Tammy. Miss Tammy, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, Miss Tammy. It is coming, ma'am. We are now 87 people away. 87 follows away from being live on Instagram. Come on, somebody. 87 follows. What's up, Miss Marilyn? 87 follows. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. 87 follows away from being live on Instagram. If you hadn't followed us on Instagram, go to ANY3RD and do that. Hit the share button where you are. Facebook, please hit the share button as you always do, and I am very grateful for you. Give us that thumbs up on YouTube. Follow us and subscribe on all of our social media platforms. Y'all doing all right? It's hump day, man. Somebody said the kids are going back to school this morning. It is that time. Who's glad the babies are going to be back in school? Is anybody happy about it? Doesn't really matter to me. My kids are well beyond that stage. So, I remember being joyful. Come on. And I remember my wife being even more joyful that they were going back to school. Pray God's blessings over all of our children as they go get that education. And pray God's blessings over all of our teachers and school workers. Come on, somebody. Lord, help them, please. And God bless you if you work in a school. But at the same time, don't expect us to feel bad for y'all. Y'all get 6 months off. Come on. Y'all get 6 months off, man. Y'all get 6 months off. So, we don't feel bad. Your 6 months is up. Huh? Y'all get every holiday off, 3 months in the summer, 3 weeks for Christmas, 2 weeks for Thanksgiving, 2 weeks for Mardi Gras. Huh? Every time you look around, y'all got a day off. And I'm not hating, I'm just saying. Yes, y'all do, Latasha Brownlee. You know I love you, but I'm speaking truth. I hope y'all soul got detoxed while y'all were off. I hope y'all mind got detoxed and that y'all got the rest that y'all needed while y'all were off. Look at my beard. Y'all didn't say nothing to me. Y'all just got my beard looking like a rat nest on here. Is he brushing his beard on here? Yes, he is. Y'all just gonna let me look crazy. Speaking of soul detox, we're talking about fasting. I told you before the story about how I had this nice car, my favorite car that I ever owned. I got it in, I don't know, 1996. and it was a 1989. It was the first car I ever owned. It was a 1989 Toyota Camry. This was when the Camrys had that like square body. And nice intro cars. I had a silver one with metallic flakes in it. No, that wasn't the first car I owned. The first car I owned was a Buick. It was the second car I owned. It was nicer than the Buick though. Anyway, had metallic flakes in it and real nice tinted windows. I had put like nice sound in it. Never forget, I had two MTX, two 15-inch MTX Blue Thunders in the trunk of that thing. I had 4 6x9s. Huh? I had 4 6x9s in that thing. I had 2 tweeters up on the dash, and the amp with the crossover. I mean, like, I was on. I was on. You couldn't tell me that I was not on. I was on. I waxed that car so much. Oh yeah, Jermaine, I was thumping, bro. I was thumping. Sound like 2 midgets fighting in my trunk. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm sorry. My staff has been getting after me about being more PC. And I'm not supposed to say things like midget, retarded, things like that. So I'm trying to change. It sounded like 2 little people fighting. Is that better? 2 little people fighting in the trunk of my car. I had what they called back then that knock. Thank you, Miss Lori. That's better, huh? I'm trying. You see, I'm trying. I'm trying, Miss Lori. 2 little people fighting in the trunk of my car. Y'all see, it's just how I grew up. Like I had parents, and I'm not making excuses, right? But I am the way I am because of Alfred and Marie Young. Like they were not careful with their words. Like they didn't teach me to be careful with my words. Like they just said what it was. Like I mean, no, I was not bumping church music. I waxed that thing so much that you could put like a bottle on the hood and it would literally slide off. Like that's how you knew you had enough wax on your car. I mean, it was nice, man. Yeah, mostly my dad. You're right, Miss Tammy. But definitely 99% my dad is the reason. I probably need therapy, but if all therapy is gonna do is tell me why I'm crazy, I don't need therapy for that. Like I know why I'm crazy. My father is responsible for 99% of my crazy. Anyway, so I took care of that thing so good, man. It was always sparkling, always shining. I probably waxed it every couple of weeks, like way too much. Interior, the car was like super clean. So much wax on it, it looked like I poured Crisco. But I didn't give as much attention to the engine of that car as I gave to the body of that car. I didn't give it the tune-ups like I should have. I didn't, change the spark plugs and transmission fluid. I I didn't keep up with the oil changes like I should have. Um, I didn't maintenance what made the car drive like I maintained what made the car look good. I'm gonna say that again. I didn't maintenance what made the car drive, what kept the car going, as well as I maintained what made the car look good. The car sounded good. You see where I'm going? The car looked good. Come on, somebody. And if you were, you know, on the outside of that car, you would say, man, the boy keeps his car clean. It's always looking good. It's always sounding good. You would think that based on exterior appearance, that car had everything that it needed. But I'm sure that if you were to do a diagnostic examination of the engine and the transmission and all that kind of stuff, you would have to say that what was going on the inside of that car did not match up to the appearance that you saw on the outside. Some of you've heard this story before, and you've also heard me say that your soul is the engine of your life. Your soul is the thing that makes or breaks your life. And many times we can be careful. I mean, we can make the mistake, if we're not careful, of maintaining all of the parts of our lives that can be seen and heard. Our finances, our mental health, our community, our family, our physical health, our relational health, and all of these other parts. And we spend all of our resources, our time, our talent, and everything else trying to make sure that these parts are waxed properly, that these parts sound good, that these parts look good, that these parts appear to be good. But at the end of it all, when we're done with all of our toiling and our spinning, as Solomon said, when we've ran our physical selves into exhaustion, when we've done our best to maintain family and community and finances and all these other things, we can still find ourselves in a place where we're empty, where we're unfulfilled, where we are lacking joy and peace, where we still feel like something's missing. And at the end of it all, the reason why we feel like something is missing is because we are not maintaining the engine. Our soul is messed up. Our spirit man is not where it needs to be. And at some point, what happened with my car is that engine broke down. The transmission gave out. And it got to the place where, although the car looked amazing, all of the issues that had accumulated as a result of lack of maintenance had brought that car to the place where it was good for nothing but the junkyard. It looked good. If you were to look at it, you'd be like, man, that car's no good. That car's not running. It was no longer useful for its purpose because I had not maintained the engine. And although it looked good, it could not fulfill purpose. It sounded good, but it could not fulfill purpose. It ended up being, I would say, the most beautiful car that the junkyard ever owned. The most beautiful car sitting in the scrapyard. I'm looking at some folks, I'm talking to some folks, and you would say, man, Pastor, I feel like that's where I'm headed, to a place of unusefulness. I feel like that's where I am, in a place where my purpose is not being fulfilled. I feel like that's where I am. I don't have joy. I don't have peace. Listen, the reason why is because although things look good, you've taken up residence in the junkyard of life because you have not maintained the engine of your life. You don't give any maintenance to the engine that keeps your life moving. We take care of the finances, we take care of, the family, we take care of the physical health, we make efforts at all of these things, but our spirit man is being neglected. Whew. Our spirit man has gone without maintenance for far too long. Come on. And when we get to that place where, like my car, I don't feel like I can go any longer. I don't feel like I can keep this up. I don't feel like I can keep moving forward. I don't feel like I can maintain it all. I'm out of gas. No, you're more than out of gas. If gas were the mental struggle, the spiritual struggle could be equated to the oil that keeps the engine running. You're more than out of gas. You got a spirit problem. You got an engine problem. What you've got to do is get back to maintaining the thing from which all of the other areas of life keep flowing. At some point, the finances, the family, the community, the mental, the physical, the relation, all of that is affected. And all of that is ineffective if the engine, there were tires on that car that were well maintained. There were rims on that car that were shining. It was a body that was in next to perfect condition and an interior that was in next to perfect condition. And there was sound in that car that rivaled the best sound around. But none of it was any good. It was all in park, in the junkyard, not being used, not going anywhere because the engine of the car had not been maintained. At some point, no matter how good our lives look, no matter how much it seems like we got it together, no matter how well things seem to be flowing, and no matter in exhaustion, we are able to maintain all of these other parts. At some point, if the engine breaks down, everything else is affected in a negative way. We get to the place where we can't maintain the family and we can't keep all of this other stuff together because the oil of life that we can only get from God has not been changed. That's the reason why God told his people in Exodus chapter 20, you shall have no other gods before me. Shall not make for yourself an idol or any likeness of what is in heaven above or on earth beneath or in the water underneath the earth. Pastor, is God like, why is he insecure? Why did he say, have no other gods before me? Here's the reason why. Because, first of all, our souls are created. The engine of your life is created to connect with the oil of life. Pastor, what is the oil of life? The oil of life is the worship of the one true and living God. It's what keeps your engine going. We are worshipers. We were created, we were made to worship God. Worship isn't just something that we do. It isn't just something that we gather for on Sundays. Listen to me. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are in your spiritual journey. I don't care what your occupation is. No, the engine oil of your life is the worship of the God who created you. You were created to worship. And our souls are designed to be filled with the oil of worship, worship of the one true and living God. That's why so many of us can have our lives so full of so many things. And yet, because we're trying to satisfy the need of the engine with wax, we're trying to satisfy what the engine needs with sound and MTX Blue Thunders and nice rims and beautiful upholstery. We're trying to satisfy what the engine needs with all of these other things. Yet we're still empty on the inside because all of the things of this world can't satisfy. There's only one thing in this world that can satisfy the engine, your soul. It's worship. And I'm not talking about Sunday morning worship. I'm not even talking about acts of worship. I'm talking about making sure that the God who created you is in the right place, which is on the throne of your heart. Making sure that nothing comes before him. In Deuteronomy chapter 4, God tells his people, do not corrupt yourselves. Don't corrupt yourself. He didn't say don't be corrupted. He said don't you corrupt you. How would we corrupt ourselves? In other words, what he was saying was don't damage yourself. Don't ruin yourself. Don't bring harm to your own life. How would we do that? He says it. Do not corrupt yourself by making an idol in any form. In other words, the way that you bring damage to your own life, a lot of times we love to point to other things as the cause for the things that we go through. We love to point to other things as the causes of our stress, as the causes of our mental breakdown, as the causes of why things are not going well. God says, listen, 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 you're missing it. Okay, so those things, exterior forces definitely play a factor in the problems that we have. But God tells his people, don't you corrupt you. And the way that you corrupt you is by making an idol. He says, don't do it in any form. In other words, make sure that there is nothing on the throne of your heart, in the place in your life what that God has reserved for himself and himself alone. He goes on to say, whether of a man or of a woman, an animal on the ground, a bird in the sky, small animal that scurries along the ground, a fish of the deepest sea. And when you look up into the sky and see the sun, moon, and stars, all the forces of heaven, watch what he says. This, I love this. This is in Deuteronomy chapter 4. Watch what he tells his people. He says, don't be seduced. Don't be seduced into worshiping them. I'm willing to bet that if God were talking to his people in this day of age, instead of naming fish and squirrels and other things that the sun and the moon and the stars, that's why, you know, I'm a sidebar. He says, when you look up into the sky and see the sun and moon and stars, all the forces of heaven, don't be seduced into worshiping them. Hello, astrology. Goodbye, astrology. Goodbye, living by what my sign is. Giving more credence to my sign as the reason why I am the way I am, as opposed to allowing God to make me into who he wants me to be. How do I get to the place where I think that that's no big deal? He tells us, he says, don't be seduced. That word seduce right there is, see, most of us don't choose to put other things in the place of our lives where God belongs. We don't choose that. Most of us don't wake up and say, you know what? I I'm a, I know God belongs on the throne of my heart, but today I'm not choosing God. We don't intentionally, just wake up and choose that. We don't choose the word. We don't just wake up and choose to make other things in our lives bigger than God. How we end up there? We get seduced. We get seduced. We we look at things and say, this one time, eh, it's not that big a deal. Huh? How do we get seduced? Yesterday, I was I was doing good. I'd had my one meal for the day. And some blackened chicken tacos. Amazing. Usually that's like all I eat unless I come home and like eat something light. Been staying away from sodas. Georgia come home and she'll make something that's got like protein, mostly protein in it. And I don't even eat a lot of that most of the time. I hadn't had McDonald's and hadn't even wanted McDonald's. I just don't eat it. I'm not like bougie or nothing like that, but I don't know. I think I worked there when I was a teenager, and like during those years, I ate so much of that stuff. The way I like now, it's like miss me with it. And then I started hearing about like all of the other stuff with McDonald's food, and I don't know. Maybe that's got something to do with why I'm crazy too. All the chemicals I ate. Um, you know, ate too many French fries. But for whatever reason, yesterday I was on the way home, and I was like, man, I have not had a Big Mac in so freaking long. I don't know why. And I out of nowhere, this nostalgia hit me. Like, man, those two all beef patties. Lie detector test determined that was a lie. That's what they said on the commercial. All beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. And I worked there, so like I didn't my stuff was never microwaved. It was always fresh off the grill. We're talking gourmet Big Macs. It's what I used to have. I just got nostalgic. Like I started thinking like about those two all beef. That was a lie. Patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and it's like, all right, I'm. I think I'm gonna go get one. I've been being good. I'm just get a Big Mac, and I'm not even gonna eat the whole thing. Like I'm just get a Big Mac, and I'm gonna take a couple bites and then throw the rest away because we all know that's trash. Like you should not be eating that. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. I'm not gonna get a soda. I don't want the combo. I don't want the combo. I just want the Big Mac, not the combo. I'm not gonna get the fries. I'm not gonna get the supersized drink. I'm just gonna get the sandwich. That's what I kept telling myself. Pull over. It's like, yeah, give me a Big Mac. It's like, you know what? By the time I get the Big Mac, You can't have a Big Mac and not have nothing to drink, like, because you got three pieces of bread. If you get a Big Mac and don't have nothing to wash it down, what if I choke on the way home on these three pieces of bread and I've got nothing? Thick bread stuck right here, and I've got nothing to wash it down. Let me just give me a Sprite. Give me a Sprite. Just give me a Sprite. It has to have acid in it. It's like, just give me a Sprite. You know what? By the time I get the Big Mac and I get the Sprite, I paid for the fries. McDonald's is not about to rip me off. No, you said it on your sign. You said on your sign, for that price, I get all three. I get the Big Mac, I get the Sprite, and I get the fries. So you are not about to sell me the Big Mac and the Sprite and not give me my fries. I was here yesterday. I wasn't born yesterday. Give me the fries. Just give me the fries. Hot. I want my fries hot. Give me hot fries. Y'all got cookies? Wait a minute. When McDonald's started selling chocolate chip cookies, are they hot? You know what? I'm in it now. I might as well get the cook. Give me the cookies. I'll take a couple of cookies. I'm on a diet. I'm trying not to do too much. Give me the chocolate chip cookies. It's just two. Two chocolate chip cookies ain't never hurt nobody. Besides, they're chocolate chip. Chocolate chips are natural. They come from cocoa. Cocoa beans come from the earth. Give me the two chocolate chip cookies. When I know anything, I'm driving home. I got lettuce flying everywhere. I'm back in Big Back world all over again. You got sauce dripping down. No, don't mock me. Don't laugh at me. Don't act like y'all don't get the sauce dripping. If you don't get the sauce dripping down, you ain't got a real burger. If sauce does not drip onto your shirt while you are eating and driving, you don't have a real burger. That's the problem. And when I knew anything, Dedriana, I was not trying to do it, but when I knew anything, I was sitting in my driveway. I ate the whole Big Mac. It was gone. They don't make them as big as they used to. A Big Mac is no longer a Big Mac. They should rename it Little Mac because that thing was going like that. I'm like, what happened to it? I got seduced. Where did it begin? I reconciled in my mind a justifiable reason why I should do what I knew I shouldn't do. I gave into it a little bit. Hmm? Not that Big Macs in and of themselves are a bad thing. Not that chocolate chip cookies in and of themselves are a bad thing. And if you say that they are, get behind me, Satan. Some things are not bad in and of themselves, but we can be guilty of taking a good thing and before you know it, we're wrapped up in it because we gave in a little. And before you know it, we're putting it before the thing we need. We're putting it before God. And can I tell you this? Good things become bad things when you put them in the place of the most important thing. Good things become bad things when they get elevated to the position in our lives that God says is reserved for Him. And without even realizing it, we get seduced into lifting things above God in our own hearts, just like I lifted that combo meal above my health yesterday. And for many of us, we have been seduced into worshiping a counterfeit, something that will never satisfy. And as a result, we got full lives and empty souls. I'm going to say that again. When we allow ourselves to be seduced into worshiping counterfeit gods, we end up in a place where we have full lives and empty souls. I'm going to say it one more time. When we allow ourselves to be seduced into worshiping, into putting things in positions in our lives where the oil of our life belongs, we end up with full lives and empty souls. Listen, listen, listen. The next big purchase, the next big achievement, the next great power move, the next level, none of that is going to make us content. None of that will ever give us satisfaction. And we chase it and we chase it and we chase it and we chase it and we chase it. And Solomon says it's striving for the wind. And we don't even realize I've been seduced. Listen, because the only thing that will ever satisfy a God-sized craving in your soul is God Himself. On this fast, I'd love for you to look for what has you seduced. I'd love for you to look for what, without even realizing it, you may have made an idol. Those things, or that thing that's getting between you and God. Might be a hobby. You keep saying you don't have time, but the truth is your hobby is taking your time away from God. Maybe for you, it's entertainment. Maybe for you, it's the fact that you're more in love with being in love than you are in love with the source of love. And you've made being in love an idol. Not that you're in love, but you want to be in love more than you want to love God as the ultimate source of love. It's not necessarily a bad thing, But what's bad is the fact that you allow it to come between you and the God who created you. That's why you keep getting seduced. What's bad is that you allow it to consume you as opposed to allowing God to consume you. You need to get back to the oil of life. Worship. Giving God your whole heart. Father, we love you. You're an amazing God, and thank you for who you are. And just thank you for the revelation of your word and how it's so practical, challenging, and yet so refreshing. Bless every child who's returning to school, every teacher, Lord, every parent. Pray that this year will be an amazing year. Reveal yourself to us in ways that we never imagined. You said you give us faith, Father. I pray that you give us the faith to put and keep you in the rightful place in our lives. We thank you and we praise you. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. God bless y'all, man. Thank y'all for hanging out with me this morning. I appreciate you. If you hadn't done so yet, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? Hit that share button. Give us that thumbs up on YouTube. Go to ANY3RD and follow us on Instagram, ANY3RD. We're about 87. Let me see if we've gotten any since we started. We were about 87. Let's see. Wow, look at that. We gotten 3 more. Now we're about 84. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. 84 people away from being able to go live on Instagram. Let's make it happen. Pastor, I want to invest. The Lord is impressing upon me to sow into this ministry. How do I do it? You text the word give to 985-260-8411, or you can go to communitych.com/give. You want to sow in the Jumpstart in particular, go down to other and just put Jumpstart in the comments and give whatever God told you to do. If you want to sow into my life, go to love offering and you can give that way. I love y'all. Have an amazing hump day if it's the Lord's will. See y'all tomorrow morning. It's Jumpstart Live, y'all.